Hi, parents, guardians, students, and really anybody checking out this website. This is Mr. Holmstrom. I want to welcome you to my classroom. You can't see it much here, but we're in the library section of the classroom. And I wanted to talk to you today about a term we're going to be using over in my class here, and that term is third space. Before I talk about that term specifically, let me introduce you to just a general idea here. Over the course of this year, it's going to be important for us to do a lot of sharing about our lives and experiences outside of school. And there are a few different reasons that we want to do that. The first is because I want you students to understand, and parents, that your lives are valuable and important to us here at school. It's important that students recognize that among each other so that they respect each other and we have a nice, safe classroom environment. And it's important, of course, that I remember that as the teacher. So it's important for us to do some sharing for that reason. The second reason that we'll do lots of sharing about our lives outside of school is because it's fun. There are going to be plenty of times during the course of the year where I'm talking at you, in other words, where I'm teaching something and I'm the one that's doing most of the talking and asking questions about the lesson. But I also want to hear what you have to say about your own experiences. I want you to be able to teach me a little bit about who you are and what you do outside of school. I think that's one way to make this fun. And the third and final reason is because I want you to realize that what we're doing in here is relevant to your lives. I'm not just going to ask you to share random things. I'm going to ask you to share things that we are going to connect to what we're learning in school. And we're going to connect them to what we're doing right now. A lot of times as teachers, we tell you, you're going to use this later on down the line. This will be important later in your life. But I want you to understand that the things that we're learning are important now, and they're relevant to your life right now. And we can tie them into class, and when we do that, it will help you to remember the things that we're learning here. So those are three reasons why it's going to be important for you to share something about your life outside of class. And the term we're using here for that sharing process, that mixing of what we're learning in school with your lives outside of school and what you have going on in your life right now outside of school, is called third space. That's the term that we're going to use to describe this mixing of these two. And if you want to, you can think of your life outside of school as first space, the first space in your life. You can think of your life here in the classroom and the things that we're learning that are just language arts related, or math related, of course, or if it's another subject, or social studies, science, as that second space. And then when we take those two spaces and we blend them together and we have a conversation about where they crisscross and how they connect with each other, we'll call that third space. So that's the term I want to introduce you to. And there's a technique we're going to use for capturing your experiences outside of school. Over the course of the year, I'm going to send you home with video cameras, and you're going to capture both little clips of video and still images about your life outside of school. And back here at school, you'll edit those down, and then we'll take clips and you'll share those pieces with us, either those still images or those videos. And again, they're going to be things that are related to lessons that we're learning here at school. Let me give you a very simple example from early on in the year. One of the first things that we'll do when we read fiction stories is look at the way that an author describes a character. It's called characterization. And authors have all sorts of techniques for developing and describing and introducing a character to you as a reader. Well, you have characters in your lives too. You have people, you're surrounded by people that are important to you, that you care about, and that you know very well. So one of the earliest third space assignments will be to go and take some pictures, maybe a little bit of video, of people that are important to you in your lives. And back here at school, you'll select just little clips of video or still images, and we'll work on describing those people. We'll work and see if we can't capture who those people are, their mannerisms, what they look like, how they talk, what their relationship is like with you, how you talk together. And in that way, we'll practice our own form of characterization, but we'll do it with people that are important to us, people that are relevant to us. So that's an example of an early on third space lesson. We're going to repeat this process over and over again through the course of the year for many of the different concepts here. And that's a little introduction to third space. I know that probably raises more questions than it answers. But I'd be happy to talk with parents or guardians. Students certainly will learn more about this process as the year goes on. But parents and guardians and anybody else listening, if you're interested and you'd like to ask some questions, then I'd like to invite you to give me a call or shoot me an email, and or come in person, and we'll have a conversation about this, and we'll talk a little bit more. That's an introduction to third space. There'll be lots of third space assignments here on this website, and I'll look forward to working with you and speaking with you soon. Thanks so much.